Today's episode is sponsored by PGX Comics, the Gen X place to get your comics graded and in case, shipping nationwide. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Codename New to Vero 2. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shabu Are You. Well, I just recently dropped the recap for GIJoe issue number 287. So today I thought we'd do the first PGX unboxing for 2022. I've been a big supporter of PGX and I'm just showing another alternative to CGC. You know, CGC is the big dominant player in this market. But, you know, I've said in many episodes that that's a dangerous proposition. And with CGC's increase in prices and really long turnaround time, you know, why not give the other companies like PGX and EGS the opportunity to earn your trust in business? Now, I've been saying from the get-go, you get 5-star customer services, talking to real people that care about your books. And so, you know, with us Gen Xers, we come from an era, you know, where we like to talk to an actual human being and someone that knows their shit versus some, you know, person in a cubicle that's just like, So the best thing about PGX is that, you know, it's a core people that are fans that really care about the product and end results. And just to show you, the box just literally got delivered a few minutes ago. So we're going to go through and see what I got. Let's check them out. All right, so this is a stack of about 7 that came back from PGX. So we're going to go through them and see what I got on them. All right, so we're going to kick off this episode with a bang. And also it's a very important lesson on many levels. In the first sense, you know, this channel is primarily a GIJoe channel. And I featured my iconic GIJoe newsstand issue number 1. And I've talked about how, you know, recently a 9.9 sold for $25K. You know, that is absurd. But, you know, this issue is really significant. And the fact is that, you know, here's the CGC version of it. So I was able, while a lot of us do, when we're sitting there on home scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, a certain individual was selling a GIJoe issue number 1 newsstand. Now, I wouldn't be so upset because I kind of knew, thanks to PGX's customer service, of what I'm going to get back. So just to show you, I got a 7.0 on this issue, which would have been a high book, except for the fact that there's a page that was detached. I didn't know that when I sent it in. Like, this is something that a very important lesson when you buy shit on eBay and Facebook. Be careful. Like, you know, I'm lucky that PGX called, like, let me know, like, hey, you know, because I was looking to get, you know, an upgrade from this 9.9. But I'm not as mad because, you know, I'm not flipping shit. And this displays well. It's a beautiful book. Also, the difference between CGC and PGX. I mean, I am loving how CGC puts in, and I think I'll show you in the picture, but it has like the first appearance of Snake Eyes, Hawk, Scarlet, Cobra Commander, Flag. It tells you like everything. It like, you know, it's just, and also makes note of what is missing. That's why I got a 7.0. But the book looks phenomenal. So it's a 2-part lesson. Number 1, be careful when you buy stuff on eBay, especially for us Gen Xers, because, you know, you don't want to pay an amount and get burned later. You know, I'm lucky. This guy, you know, he was innocent. And I know I'm saying that, but he really came down in the price. I thought I was getting a steal of the century, but I still made out pretty good. You know, what I paid for and what this book is actually worth, I'm still, you know, ahead of the game. And it looks great. It's like, this displays phenomenally. So I am so glad to have it. But, you know, and I'm also thankful to PGX to let me know ahead of time what I was going to get. So that kind of like helped a lot. Again, customer service. And also, why would you deal with CGC's price increase, their long turnaround time, and their atrocious customer service? They're a corporate machine now, and you get this great customer service from PGX. I'm so thankful for the entire PGX team for just being there for me and helping me, because I know there's a lot of people, and I do these videos to educate mostly fellow Gen Xers with their old comic books, and they know that. And that's why they do all this, is because they want you to know why you can trust them with your hard-earned dollars. All right, so the next book we're going to talk about, in a previous episode, a previous unboxing, I featured the first appearance of Elvira, appearance in comic, that is. And again, sometimes really overlooked, but everyone knows that recently she produced her memoirs called Yours Cruelly, which is a New York Times bestseller. And when I purchased the first appearance book, it came in kind of a lot. And ironically, her second appearance, I really like this issue because it has the samurai, it has the, it's kind of like a mash of two polar opposites thing, and I thought that this was really interesting. And the fact of the matter is this is the character's second comic book appearance, so that makes this something of note. And this one's actually more difficult to find than the first appearance one, so I definitely had this sent in, and it came out really nice. I mean, newsstand variant. These books are a little bit thicker. The House of Mystery series that DC had, they came out, they were a little bit thicker than your regular comic book done, but this presentation came out wonderful. And again, I'm really happy with this output. 8.0, that's respectable. I'm totally okay with that. Again, Elvira, House of Mystery, issue number 2. So with the recent Spider-Man No Way Home movie, a lot of interest has come back into Spider-Man's iconic black costume. In that movie, we saw Tom Hardy's Venom coming into the MCU, leaving behind a piece of the symbiote, and then going back to his universe. So that has generated a lot of interest in the black suit Venom, so to speak. And also, Venom Let There Be Carnage, that has also contributed to this increase in getting these key issues. So when it comes to the black suit, everyone knows the iconic Secret Wars number 8. And, to have this be reunited, I mentioned it in an earlier video, how it's great to have this. It got a 6.5, and this is a CGC one, but still it presents wonderfully. And I'm so glad to have this in my collection. Now, the tricky part is when you kind of decipher what is actually Spider-Man's first appearance. And there's a lot of YouTube videos from people that are much more knowledgeable than me. But his quote-unquote first appearance is actually in Marvel Age number 12, which is kind of like a preview thing. And then there's the actual Spider-Man titles. Now, you have Amazing Spider-Man 252, which has been regarded as the first appearance. You got to understand that there's 3 issues in play here. There's a Marvel Team Up 141, and then this issue, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 90. This is an excellent alternative if you're not looking to spend a lot of money, but want to get an issue that is significant, that complements any of the black suit, any of Venom's really nicely. So picking this up was a definite excellent. I'm just happy about it. It presents well. It features the Black Cat, and the best thing about this is that PGX says that ties with Amazing Spider-Man 252 and Marvel Team Up 141 for the first appearance of the black costume. So it is giving you the complete story for anyone that is looking to purchase or wants to get the full facts on all 3 of these iconic issues. The fact of the matter is they all came out at the same month, just different weeks. So one came out in the beginning of May, middle of May, and end of May, if I'm correct on that. But it is an excellent alternative if you're looking to just get a key issue that isn't going to break the bank and something that presents pretty well. So here we go. Peter Parker, Spider-Man number 90. excellent job. I'm really happy about how this came out. Okay, the next book I'm going to feature, I've mentioned it a lot in my Facebook and Instagram accounts, posting a lot of aspects about this character and why it's advantageous to get in on the action before the Disney Plus series. And earlier in an earlier episode, I featured finally getting the Savage She-Hulk #1. This book has been spiking up on the charts, and it's going to keep going up until the Disney Plus series. Also, I talked about the sensational She-Hulk #1. Again, any keys involving this character, it's important to get now because it's getting to the point where it might be too late. A lot of people are specking hard on She-Hulk as well as Ghost Rider. So with that aside, the next book I'm going to feature is the iconic She-Hulk #34. This is an homage to that iconic Demi Moore Vanity Fair cover. And the cool thing is that PGX actually incorporates that in the little description over here, saying that Black Talent appearance, Vanity Fair, June 91 cover homage. So it's cool that PGX even put that in to the label when doing this. And this book came out great. Yes, it got a 7.0, but that's totally okay. The fact that it presents well, it looks amazing. I am more than happy. And I got it at such a great price that now I already know that this has gone up 3-folds in value already. So I'm really ecstatic about this. I also noticed that she's kind of wearing a Jessica Rabbit type of outfit in her little corner icon right there. That overlooked me when I was a kid. And I've been saying this a lot. The whole John Byrne She-Hulk run, especially now as when we're adults, we've been through life, is excellent to revisit. I've been enjoying reading his entire run in She-Hulk. It's one of those underrated things that I highly recommend to go back, pick up the omnibus, or read the issues online. I'm just sad or shocked why this didn't catch on as it should have. But I think, again, a lot of the kids that were reading comics in their teens and 20s, but as an adult, you could really appreciate John Byrne's take on this character and what type of spin he put on it. So She-Hulk #34. Okay, we just finished talking about how getting a jump before a Disney Plus show airs with She-Hulk and how it's really advantageous to get those key issues relating to that character is important. I'm going to unveil 2 issues back to back because they all tie into one movie. And I'm talking about Black Panther #2. Black Panther #2 is shaping up to be as momentous as Civil War was for Captain America. I mean, you had Spiderman come out, Black Panther. It was so big in the MCU. As far as all those movies, if you line them all up, Civil War was the big movie in that phase, whatever phase it was. So Black Panther #2 is going to shaping out to be like that. We've heard so many rumors, sadly, with the passing of Chadwick Boseman. What the hell is going to happen with the character? Are they going to recast it? Are they going to bring back Michael B. Jordan? Or there's so many rules or ways that could go about the character. A lot of insiders, and these are some reputable individuals. I follow other YouTube channels, and they've been right. So some of their inside sources are pointing towards Shuri, Black Panther's sister, assuming the mantle. So with that said, this is actually Shuri's first appearance as the Black Panther. It's a variant cover on the Dark Reign series for Black Panther. This is a special wraparound cover. Beautiful cover. I mean, the cover alone is exquisite. It's just amazing. And the fact that this is significant relating to her assuming she is the Black Panther now. So this is the first time that she has taken on that mantle. Yes, she was introduced in other episodes, other issues before, but for this being that key moment and being captured, again, any first appearances, origins, significant events, those are the type of issues, one would try to go towards. So I am so glad and this came all the way from the UK. That's where I found this issue, this variant issue. Now the actual cover, like official main cover of her, assuming the Black Mantle, is the third issue in this series. So if you get this, either this variant or the Black Panther, the third issue in this series, are two keys. I actually have that, but it's already been sent to grading. So this is, I mean, I got it. When you see the picture of it, it's just a beautiful cover. And I like the background with the, T'Challa in the jungle looking at his sister, with the Black Panther on a branch. This is a badass cover. So I'm really glad I have this in my collection. And again, PGX did a great job with this issue. I think it came out beautifully, and I am just getting a 9.4. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong. Like I said, this book came from the UK, so I was scared to death what I was going to get. So Black Panther #1 variant cover. Okay, the next book we're going to feature again ties into the significance that Black Panther #2 is going to bring to the MCU in this current phase. Now, we have Shuri assuming the Black Mantle. There's also strong reports and almost confirmed that another character named Riri Williams will also make her debut in the MCU. Now, a lot of us Gen Xers have no idea who Shuri or Riri Williams is. Her character is called Ironheart, so she's going to be the female version of Iron Man. Her backstory is she's a young prodigy, African-American young woman with exceptional intelligence and skills, and she independently makes her own version of the Iron Man suit. So it's interesting because, like, at this stage, like I was saying, these new characters, it's kind of like being young again and falling in love with new characters and discovering new things. Have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to accept that, the things that we grew up with Tony Stark and stuff, things evolve, and that's just life. So I'm actually excited. This is actually Riri Williams' second appearance. Her first appearance is in Invincible Iron Man #9. So this being 10 is her first or second full appearance of this character. Now, if you go on eBay and look up the first appearance, issue #9, you're going to see prices through the roof. So this is an excellent, safe bet. One that's economical and significant at the same time. And that's what I try to do on this channel, is present things that can have potential growth, but won't break the bank in your initial investment. So that's just smart business, So that's why I think that this is a great book to pick up now before Riri Williams becomes a hit. And I'm telling you right now, I'm predicting that she will. Now, Marvel is doing, I think, a great job. What we know as the Avengers is going to split in order to attract a younger audience, a diverse audience. They're going to make, like, Team A would be like Thor and all those guys. And then there's going to be like a Team B with characters like Riri Williams, Shuri, and also Ms. Marvel. And we also got the Scarlet Witch's two kids, was it Speed and Wicket? I think that's their names. But again, they're setting that up for a potential Young Avengers spin-off, I guess, so to speak. So it's good to learn about these characters now before they make their debut, and you see books like this skyrocket. And I'm telling you right now, folks, Shuri and Riri Williams are going to be big hits. They just have the it factor associated with them. Another big rumor that's almost all but confirmed is that Namor, the Submariner, is going to make his debut in the MCU as well. So with, again, Civil War had Spider-Man. I think Namor is the classic character that's coming in and making his debut. So anything that relates with Black Panther #2, take note of it. It is something that is just going to blow up as we get closer and closer to that monumental movie. The next book is actually piggybacking off of the big news of 2021 that a Robin is, I think, gay or bisexual. I'm not sure. But the fact that a Robin character has, declared his sexuality, I mean, this is a 21st century, but the fact of the matter is that's a pretty big thing in comic book history. So this Batman year number 3 is the first appearance of Tim Drake. Again, I think this is the Batman year 3 that is always underrated and overlooked. It is a great story. You got Tony Zuko, the crime boss. You hear the story of the origin of the first Robin, Dick Grayson. So this issue in particular, Batman Year 3, issue number 1, is something that everybody should target and add into their collection. I think it's such a significant book that often gets overlooked. I mean, people, I don't know why, sometimes you could find this like under $10 in the back bins. And this thing has been shooting up. This is the actual one from my childhood. So the fact that it got 8.0 after all these years sitting in a box is, wow, ecstatic. And again, that's why I do this, is like a lot of you guys have collections like me that have been sitting in a short box or a long box for so many years. And taking those treasures and giving it this type of treatment, thanks to the good people at PGX, is worthwhile. It looks and presents phenomenal. And I liked how PGX added first appearance of Tim Drake, origin of Robin, Dick Grayson retold. It's just the presentation of it, the way it looks, the significance of the issue are all things that make this book just pop. And again, I'm so glad and thankful for the guys at PGX to do this for me. I also love looking at the advertisements in the back. So when I go through this stuff with you guys, I like to share that as stuff, because that's the whole thing with comics with us. And sadly, that's not the case in today's comics. You get the books, you don't really get advertisements anymore. So again, it's just cool to pick up issues and get this to a child, especially a childhood book, a book that I've had with me from my time at Rutgers, my time with Uncle Sam, to like moving to Florida. Everywhere I've been, that box has been with me. And to do this to my comics, finally, after all these years, it's like, it feels good. And it feels good to share with you guys like the significance and the importance of that. And I hope that you guys also do the same with your collection, because I'm sure you're attached to them as much as I am. Alrighty, so we began this episode with Spider-Man and the symbiote and all that other black costume, what have you. We're going to end this episode in the same manner. And this is another book, Amazing Spider-Man number 363. Now, 361 gets all the big buzz because it is the first full appearance of Carnage. But again, this is a nice, and I did one previous episode where I highlighted 362, which would be the first time that all three characters appeared on the cover together. So this is kind of like the third full appearance of Carnage, and the second time that all three characters are together. But again, it's just a great cover. It often gets overlooked, but I just love the artwork on this. And again, the countdown to Spidey's 30th anniversary, like all these little things, like the NBA Fleer card. I'm just glad that, and this is another childhood book. That's another thing. So I do remember riding my bicycle to Heroes Comics in South Jersey and picking out this issue. So that's what's been kind of cool, is going through my short box and just going through the memories. I think I had like a Diamondback bicycle. Yeah, and then I had a Giant. Yeah, I rode my Giant. So it was a chrome Giant, a Rooster. It's like a mile and a half away from my house. So I remember riding my bike and picking up these issues. So it's just cool to finally complete the whole Carnage series and have them all graded and encased like this. I even have Spider-Man 360, which is the cameo appearance of Carnage. I don't have 361, ironically. I have everything but that issue. So I don't know what happened, or I don't even think I even bought it. So the fact that I got all these is pretty cool. So again, the bottom line is, I hope these videos is not only educational and informative, helps you make sound decisions. I understand that CGC is the big guy, but I've told you, again, with my profession being a data analyst and auditor, it's not advantageous to have one company have the entire control of the market. That is detrimental to the entire industry as a whole. And the fact is, there is viable and very good alternatives. I've been so happy with PGX and EGS. These two companies I promote a lot on this channel because I just like dealing with them and I like their products. I just think that the books should dictate the values, not the company who's grading it. They're just the facilitator, the medium that is, taking in between A to B. So the important thing is the book itself. And it bothers me to know that, oh, this book is worth X amount of dollars, but because it's not a CGC book, it gets a hit. That is not good, guys. That is not good at all. And again, just transition that to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Like, do you care if it's TD House or Ameritrade or any of the brokerage firms that carry out those transactions? No, it's the actual value of the stock or whatever entity that you have. Like, that's the bottom line. The same thing has to be with this as well. So this is Shabu Are You? And if you're interested, click on the link below. I would message PGX or whatever if you have any questions or anything like that. But go check out their website. Send in your orders now. I mean, with CGC's backlog and taking almost, I heard 6 to 8 months turnaround time, 6 to 8 months to get your stuff back. Does anybody have a problem with that? And also, I've noticed that CGC has been doing a hiring spree. So that is good, but you got to understand two things. That means that they're understaffed and they're not able to keep up with their requests to fill these orders. Number two, you also have to understand where they are located. They're in Sarasota, Florida. Me being a Floridian, how many people in that area are able to carry out whatever it is they're looking for? They're looking for, like, I think, a graphic artist person and all this other stuff. So there's not too many people that are going to relocate from wherever they are to Sarasota, Florida for a job that'll probably pay around like 30, maybe 60K. I don't know. But to make that move, there's not too many people that can and are willing to do that. So again, the fact that they increase their prices, they're taking a long time to return their books, and they're understaffed. Those are some reasons why now is a good time to try other alternatives. It doesn't hurt anybody to give it a try, and I've been featuring PGX and EGS comics for the past several months, and I'm a happy customer. So I hope this helps you guys out. And stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to go and we're going to do some comic recaps. I think I have GIJoe yearbook number 4, which is a significant yearbook because it is a precursor to the Cobra Civil War. Often overlooked, but I'm glad that IDW is giving this a reprint and giving it in a nice presentation. So stay tuned for that episode. This is Shabu Are You? Signing off.